Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. Now this is another video about non-conformist folk art, or graffiti as it's sometimes called, which of course does vary in quality, in technical quality and intellectual content, but it's something I do always enjoy and I like to cover whenever I can, not least because it's very often temporary. It doesn't often last very long. Your images are created, they disappear slowly through wear and tear from erosion by the elements, but also they're painted over by other artists. So I like to record them when I can. In fact, I'm quite famous for it. I even got into the local newspapers once about that particular issue a few years ago. But I'm here now with my little doggy friend there, who's I'm just taking for a little walk, and we're going along this towpath, which you might recognise. It doesn't have any snow on it anymore, but I did actually come along here with my snowy video. Do you remember my snowy video I did a couple of weeks ago when it was cold and icy and snowy here in Oxford? And I showed you some of the art I'm going to show you in a minute, which has changed slightly since the last time we were here. I thought I'd record it again. I've also got to say a big thank you to the Russian-speaking person who translated the graffiti on the parapets of Donington Bridge. Apparently it says psycho. I didn't know what it said. Someone had written some Russian text on that particular bridge. I didn't know what it meant, but it means psycho for some reason. I don't know why someone's written psycho in Russian on Donington Bridge. Anyway, we're coming close to this bridge. This is the bypass here in Oxford. These things like BTS crew, that's all about the rowing. What BTS? I don't know. Sometimes I see BNC, which stands for Brasenose College, but I don't know what BTS means. But I know what BST means. It's blank slate technology, or for the crop circle people did a thing called BTS. I thought, what's the crop circle thing stand for? But anyway, here we are. We have some interesting imagery here, which I did show you before. There's that kind of anime image there, which is very, very good, I think. My doggy friend is playing with another dog right now. On the other side of the bridge, you have these very interesting. Now, those are new. I've not seen those before. See there? That's like eyes on stalks. It's like something from science fiction, maybe Doctor Who or something. Come along there. You see, this is a common. This gritted teeth image is a commonly recurring theme in art, on folk art around here. So this bit has changed along here because you see there's been people scrawling over it, and someone here has written, "Don't tell Scotty." I don't know why they've written that. Why would he beam me up? This was that's quite new, that bit. I saw the bloke painting that actually. The winged humanoid is still there, and the amazing clown here has. The amazing clown is still here, which I showed you, although it's starting to wear a little bit down the bottom. You see, it's mostly dogs weeing on it, I think, that does that. It's corrosion. That amazing, it's all psychos. Maybe that's the Russian thing, psycho. And it looks like it's a work in progress here that hasn't been completed. But you've got to MUF crew. I like the clown. Yeah, a lot of the psycho clown. But maybe that's what that is. It's an amazing image anyway. And my little doggy friend is going to add to the corrosion in a minute, I think. Come on little fella. Tags they see. A lot of these graffiti, you see, they have like things like this. That there's a tag. A tag is like it's basically like a signature. It's an attribution. So like an artist will sign their bottom corner of a painting, the graffiti artist will sign his work with his tag. And you'll see a lot more of those as we go through the course of this little tour. And there it is, psycho. And what does that say? It's something else in Russian. We are psychos here in Russia. And I already told you about that over there, Hussein, and the sad story behind him. Oh, there's Vogue. We'll be seeing more of Vogue in a minute. Okay, I've come across some more graffiti here. Now you see here this creature, which I've got another little doggy friend there, by the way. I think it looks like some kind of, is it a dinosaur? Is it? At first I thought it was like a whale or a dolphin thing. or maybe even an alien. It's got little hands there. I think like a sauropod dinosaur, like a, what's it, like sauropod dinosaurs, whatever they are, theropod dinosaurs. And we have here, the hand, the Churchillian victory sign there. And this thing here, I think you can just about see it. There's some kind of red wizened caricature creature with an extended mouth. Now again, you see a couple of these around the place. I'll show you another one if it's still there later on. Another weird creature there. Now, what's that now? Looks like some kind of, that's a weird looking thing. Humanoid with a big head and hat. It's like an alien with a hat. And there's all these tags here around it. That's a weird looking thing, isn't it? Now, R.A.P. Wes Kira. This is just to R.A.P. Wesley, Love. There's Love Vote. Vote come up a few times. I think this may be one of the artists who died. So this is on the bypass. This is on a little road next to the bypass in Cowley. There's some more here. Xenos, and that's a shop, but it's also Xenos. It means I think it was a stranger in Greek. There's a couple of Xenos I see a few times. These words keep repeating. You see, they get these different themes repeating over and over. Yeah, in the graffiti around Oxford. Now, Vogue. Now, here's another Vogue. Now, you've seen this word a few times, Vogue. And I think it actually refers to a person, although as you can see here, if it's a person, not everyone likes it. Vogue is, I think, must be one of the artists. Because, yeah, whoever Vogue is, they've contributed a lot to the graffiti around here. And it's rather like, it's like interpreting the see this Vogue again. This is like interpreting the Voynich manuscript. That's a perfect example of like an average tag. It's like you see, it's illegible. It's like a signature. K on there, and this is I can't even read that K something. Is that a number? You see a K-A-S-T, K-S-T. I don't know what that is. Co, an O or a B? I can't tell. Come on, there's another Xenos. That's quite well done. I like the way they do the lettering there. That's classic graffitis where you have that this sort of illuminated lettering, which again is quite unique to the whole thing. There's a Xenos there. It's an X. It's an X. I thought it was an F, but it's Xenos. It's really, that's another strange calligraphy there. More Vogues. There's another tag there. This is a Kids of the 80s. Oh, Kids of the 80s crew. It's quite well done, is it? Kids with a Z. Of the 80s crew. There's three different things here, like the themes here, on various themes. They're quite well done, isn't it? They're quite well made, the way the lettering's been created. Quite well done. Here's some older graffiti. I do wonder if any of these survive, I do wonder what archaeologists will think of them. I should know an archaeologist actually, Gemma, she used to post on this, she used to post comments. She's actually unfriended me, unfortunately, because of my support for Trump and the Capitol Hill thing. Kids of the 80s again, there, see, vote. Just going to have a little walk around this park. That's the end of that bit, but there'll be a lot more to show you after I've taken my little doggy friend for a walk in this park, so that's where I'm going next. Okay, I'm coming out of the park now, and we see here, this is an elaborate mural here of text, very large. It's all red lettering, I think, although the first figure, actually I can't work out what letter it is or number. It resembles the clenched teeth motif, which I've seen several times on produced by artists in this area, so it is again possibly by the same person or team of people. There's some very interesting ones on this particular wall here. Almost any blank space will be covered with graffiti at some point. We have the old victory sign again, the Churchillian V. Vogue is back, and look at this, obey. That there is Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, saying obey. We're quite ordinary suburban street. Hello, Vogue, who's there again? A quite ordinary suburban street in southern Oxford. And we have an image of the leader of North Korea on the wall. I don't know what that tells us, whether it's sinister, something we should worry about, I'm not sure. The carry on walking up here. I used to live in this area, actually. I used to live in one of these houses just around the corner. So I'm going to have a look at that, and then I'm going to carry on with my doggy friend to another, one of these little public impromptu free art galleries. Okay, I'm going down this little alleyway now in Cowley, Oxford, between two streets. And here's Vogue again. He gets everywhere, doesn't he? And Xenos, THC, is that something to do with cannabis? I don't know. Some old, you see, this looks like there's been some graffiti cleared off. JB4TS, IQS. I suppose that's some code. Somebody knows what that means. Maybe who JB or TBS, TS know that. Graffiti can actually last a long time. I mean, there's some graffiti which I've seen graffiti recently, actually, in another part of Oxford near my old first school, which I know was put up in the 1980s. I recognise it because I know who did it. He can't spell properly. He spells here H-E-R-E. He spells it H-E-A-R. Terrible spelling. He failed English, obviously. It's still there. It's faded, but it's still there. And look at this. Oh my God, blimey. Some bloke with his tongue sticking out. I mean, it's interesting in Xenos here again. What would future archaeologists make of this? I mean, it's possible some of this will survive into the future, into the distant future. I mean, look, imagine that red thing with the big long mouth. I mean, what on earth would an archaeologist of thousands of years in the future who digs up who's at a dig in where Cowley used to be, make of all this? It's possible that they wouldn't understand the language because the language doesn't exist anymore, and they'd have to decipher the lettering. But what would they make of the images? The creature with the big long mouth. It's like get your roller out, girl. You show. What's that? I can't read that. Something. No. Sorry. It's all written on top of each other. You show more hate than anyone. Still no tag. Oh right. Someone's putting stuff without a tag. P.S. Love Vogue. Oh Vogue, you've got some fans somewhere. I know only hate. There's the Churchillian V again. Show me what love is. No tag. Oh my goodness me. This is someone. You get all death threats and things like that. Abuse. Vogue is a toke. Right. There you are, Vogue. That's what you are. I don't know what that means, but there you go. It's a smiling face. You see, like, only a smiling face image was found in a very old fossil. Richard Thompson and Michael Cremo talk about that in their big long book, Forbidden Archaeology. And here we have a blank canvas. Don't know if anyone wants to fill that in. But yeah, I mean, it's quite possible that people in the distant future will find these images and these messages, and who knows what they are. I mean, so look at the trouble we have now trying to interpret some of the messages of ancient civilizations. Look, I mean, read Graham Hancock's Supernatural, where you know, there's entire academic disciplines geared towards trying to decipher cave art from 10,000, 20,000 years ago. Some of the images are familiar. You know, we see animals that we recognise, even extinct ones like mammoths, but then they're strange shapes, and there are handprints, and there's like there's stencils, inverted handprints, and distorted animals and things like that. It's very strange. It's possible that we are leaving. It's possible these graffiti artists, Vogue and his crew, are leaving images for future academics to find, including like the one who blocked me because they didn't like my views on Trump, to try to wonder what the hell that means. What does it mean? They are leaving these people, our distant descendants, in the world of archaeology, possibly an unbreakable conundrum, a puzzle, of which books and will be written and conferences will be held, and they will stand up there and say, well, in whatever language exists thousands of years in the future, who the fuck is Vogue? Who's Vogue? What does it mean? What you have here is actually not, it's actually a notice board here outside someone's house, and there's some amazing, interesting things here. Now I think you've recognised some of these people here. There is a, this is by, there's the, it's a signature, not a tag. There's the A-Last Mekon from the Eagle comic. On the Executive of Science, you can pause and read that. There's an amazing, oh, there's this amazing thing here. And again, pause and read this thing about Tories, Hazlitt political essays. There's more down here, feel free to pause and read. And here. Yeah. Welcome to the shit show. Bojo the Clown takes over the circus. Look at that. There's like a little story that goes with it. Someone's put together a little story. Here we go, look. As per the artist, the Westbury Gallery. Alright, you've seen these before, haven't you? Here we go, you can pause and read that. You can actually, you've seen these before, look at that. Oh look at that, that's a Trump imp statue there. But look at that. I've shown you these before because this is the house. Look, there's more in there, look at that. That's amazing. That's incredible. Look at that. They're really good. Do you remember my election video? The Westbury People's Gallery, this is called. It's at Westbury Crescent, Oxford, if you want to come and see it. Look at this. Now that image there, you saw it. I showed it you, Ship of Fools. I showed it you on my election video. Do you remember? Best Brexit Tears Advert 2020. Some images to celebrate the Advent and our imminent Brexastrophe will be posted up every day. Oh, right. Brexastrophe, that's a good word. Brexastrophe. That'll be in the dictionary. Assume it's a portmanteau of Brexit and catastrophe. Oh, well, you know what my opinion is on that, don't you? You know I completely disagree. But I admire the skill and the talent of this artwork, even if I don't share its political sentiments. That's a good one, isn't it? Look at that. I love those. These are really good. Look at that. Oh, that's Nigel. Oh, lad. Oh, that's very good. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Come and check it out at Westbury Crescent, Oxford. Oh, yeah. Check it out. Come and see it. I think it's meant to be a public event. So yeah, I enjoyed that. It was fun. We've got some more simpler graffiti along here, which I can't read actually. It's quite old, probably, I think. But you have here. Again, here's another image. This is going to puzzle the archaeologists of the future. I think, judging by the style, it's by the same artist as that as the red creature. But this is kind of like a strange nosed figure with horns, I think, with a big nose, breathing fire like it's a dragon. But again, the mouth you can see is and the shape of it, the general style, I think, is the same artist who did the red creature. There's an old graffiti there. The stuff on the fences, of course, won't last as long. Fences don't, wooden structures don't last as long as stone. This is why you get like, it's possible that some of the ancient monuments like Stonehenge, there may have been some wooden ones created as well around the same time, but of course they don't exist anymore because time has worn them away, whereas Stonehenge, Avebury, things like that, because they're made of stone, they're obviously weathered, but they still exist. They are still recognisable. I can't read Moss. I can't read that. That's Vogue. It's Vogue again. He gets everywhere, doesn't he, old Vogue? Yeah. OX4. That's our postcode. But this is a lot of pink lettering here. And there's another Vogue.
Treat, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Again, there's not much along here. It's another Vogue again. That's it, the old stuff. And I don't think you can paint much on this fence because there's a chicken wire fence in front of it. So there we have Xenos again, and OX4 baby. And look, that is exactly like the creature I showed you in the alleyway up in Cowley. Do you remember? Except it hasn't been coloured in. Same artist, I expect. There's a V. Where's the OKE? It's not there. These are some interesting calligraphy here. Is that lettering or a picture? Or on the news. This is a little bit like, it's not unlike internet culture actually, especially where people leave messages for each other like still no tag, hate, love, fuck you, etc. It is rather like an internet forum, but it's written on stone and wood instead of pixels and HTML. That's a good one there. I don't know what these things mean. It provides of this horrible old brutalist 1950s monstrosity we have here. Does that say BBC? Oh, God. Disgusting. I don't know who ZSKFA is. Your vibe. Yes. People come down here when, I suppose it's a perfect place around here because people walk up and down here this little alleyway all the time. However, obviously you could draw and paint here and no one would disturb you. This old factory or whatever it is here. Come on, something that brightens it up. And there's like the face on Mars, I think. Just what will they make of it? And another. Getting the style of the strangely distorted mouth leads me to think it's the artist who created the other two strange, just grotesque figures we saw before. Oak one more time. Now you may be wondering about the legal aspect of all this, about whether it's actually wrong to celebrate what is essentially vandalism. However, I actually don't think there's anything unethical or unlawful about drawing on walls or writing on walls, as long as it's public places. Clearly, most of these items are not particularly unsightly. Some of them are quite nice. When you consider the kind of trash you get in some art galleries today, I mean, like beds, just somebody's bed or a bottle of wee, or these horrible, sometimes disgusting things in like the Tate Modern, things like that. I consider people who might put a tag or an image up on a fence or a wall in a public place, completely, that's fine with me. At least they're not trying to sell it for £50,000 to some stupid idiot who doesn't know tat when they see it. So yeah, I mean, I say go ahead. You can always remove it. I think here there has been some graffiti removed from this particular fence. In order to remove it, it's actually not difficult. The paint comes off quite easily if you want to remove it. However, I wouldn't want to. Most of these things I've seen, I really wouldn't want to remove. I wouldn't want to remove. Obviously, if they're going to go into someone's house and like do it in a private property, that's a different matter. But I don't really see that it's a serious problem if it's just in public places. So that's my position on the lawful or legal element of graffiti. Also, when I say artist, I mean it literally in some of the cases. I use the term graffiti artist and things like that. Some of them are artists. I'm not obviously just writing a rude message on the wall is not just an artist. However, I read an article in Focus magazine when I used to subscribe to that pile of shit years ago, which was all about graffiti, and it said that people who do graffiti tend to be young, male and working class. It's pretty clear that some of the examples I've showed you today are made by people who have a genuine talent. I expect they do very well at art at school, because if they're young, a lot of them are still at school, they do very well at art at school. And some of them probably go on to art college and possibly a successful career as artists. And indeed, there are examples such as Banksy. I mean, Banksy is starting. He still does graffiti, doesn't he? And Julian Beaver, the guy who does this, he does graffiti with this amazing forced perspective, which is incredible to look at. It's really remarkable. So, I think people in the art world, I would say, would probably look at many of the examples I showed you today. They're not being exhibited at the National Gallery or at the Quai d'Orsay in Paris or something like that. But so what? As I said before, look at the kind of trash that very often is. Unless someone could tell me that a bucket of melted Antarctic ice is somehow a work of art. I mean, it's conceptual art, but anything could be conceptual art. That's the whole point of it. But these are genuine, interesting creations. There's a good video to watch actually. It's called "Against the Turner Prize," and it's all about that. I don't know if it's still online. It used to be online. I don't know if it still is. It's quite an old video. Yes, presented by a guy called Jonathan Bowden, who was an artist. He was very pro-traditional and hated all the modern stuff. But, if it's still there, it's worth seeing. It really is. So yeah, I mean, they are artists, and especially today, I would say the last example I'm going to show you. The big lion up there, and that mound there, I think is the big mound. Big hill, that's Aslan Lion. C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia. There's the big hill with the garden with the apple tree in those books, and the Magician's Nephew, the So I thought I'd leave you on this very wet and miserable day. I thought I'd leave you with the best, save the best to last. Now you've already seen that one. I've already done a video on that particular artwork, which is still there after all these years. I'll have to put a link in the description box to that, but I'll let you know a new one that's appeared. I saw it being painted. I'm doing it. I hope you can hear me. It's very windy today as well as wet and miserable. I thought I would show you where it is. This sort of thing, I think, is very important. It allows people to express themselves and their own creative instincts in a world where such things are really very badly discouraged by the mainstream media. You're supposed to sit and consume, and that's all you're supposed to do. Sit, consume, obey. Don't create. But this sort of non-conformist folk art is an example of people actually being active in the world of creation, not just consuming whatever passes for creation in hello there, whatever passes for creation in this world. And we have a new one that's just appeared. I'm just going to show it you now. Well, this is Catherine Street in Oxford, and it's this. I watched this guy just 2 days ago. I watched the guy painting. He's been painting it in several phases. He started it a couple of weeks ago, and this is incredible. This is really good. We have an astronaut cat. Yeah, cats in space, and that's really well done, isn't it? That's really well done. As you see, that looks like, I don't know, I think that's Mars. It's a red planet. I think it's Mars, probably Mars. And you see how rocket. This is the SpaceX Starship, the SN10, that's just been launching. You may have seen the launches in China of the rocket. Now that is actually one of those, and it's blasting off into space to go to Mars. And here is the astronaut cat. I don't know who made this. It has a tag on it. Let's have a look. That just says X there. But here's the tag. Wall to wall. And I was walking past the guy who was actually doing it, and I said to him, he had a step ladder, he had cans of paint, like spray paint. It's all done with spray paint. And I said to him, thanks very much for brightening the place up. See, there's stars and things in it as well. Brilliant, isn't it? If you want to see, that's Catherine Street, Oxford. It's the same street as the as the lion, the great lion Aslan, which I've showed you before. I think we're looking at I think this sort of thing gives me hope. It gives me hope that people are not just passive lemmings, they're not just consumers, they're not just sitting there vegetating in front of soap operas and reality TV and these other mind-numbing programs. I mean, television to me is almost unbearable. It's only when I think you can see things more clearly, when you become more aware of the conspiracies going on in the world. Mainstream media becomes so transparently awful and so obviously awful that I just find it unbearable. I mean, there's some program named BBC Question Time, for example, is a toxically propaganda program. It's supposed to be a political talk. It's supposed to be a political discussion program. It's a toxic propaganda show. EastEnders is a soap opera, supposedly a continuous evening drama, and every single storyline is designed to break our spirit. It's designed to demoralise us. It's pessimistic. It's nihilistic. It seems to combine both cultural Marxism and social Darwinism into a single program, which is a remarkable achievement. Normally, those two things are kept separate. I come away from watching EastEnders feeling drained of energy and very, very downhearted. And that's what it's designed to do. Brian Gerrish actually said this years ago. He said EastEnders is especially designed to be depressing. Even like mainstream critics have described it as being too dark, too grim. And and that's not the only one. I feel it's so usually when I go to my daughter's house, and she often, if I spend time there, she often and her housemates often have these programs on all the time, and I sit there and I can just feel it sucking the life out of me. I mean, Lou, my daughter, I think she's much more, she's got me, and she's got the things I talk about. I think she doesn't affect her quite so much, but the others are just sitting there going like this. Like, it doesn't seem to have an effect on them, but it does. It must do. They become numb to it, but it must do. So I really take my hat off to anybody who goes out there. It's like I said earlier, it's like the internet. Anyone who goes out there and stops just sitting and consuming, they start speaking, they start talking and expressing themselves artistically, or in terms of just some agitation, or just in terms of just writing something. At least it's writing anything. I mean, obviously a lot of the artwork I've covered today is really lowbrow, to say the least, but at least there are people out there just doing something, making something. That means it's not over yet. It means the spiritual conquest of humanity has not yet succeeded. That's what this means. This is why I love these things so much. That's why I've spent time today showing them to you, so that you'll realise that. As long as there's hope, there is life. As long as there's life, there's hope, as the saying goes. So I hope you'll come away from this film feeling invigorated, as I do. Thank you very much for watching Japan Road TV. Hospital Quarters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order.